Let's talk about stretch goals. Stretch goals on Kickstarter is something that came about based on the project owners themselves. When Kickstarter first started, they actually hadn't defined what a stretch goal was. They didn't even know a stretch goal. Not really, because it wasn't part of their thing. It kind of came about in a variety of different ways. Mostly the board gamers out there, when they started putting their project out there, started adding additional goals. Hey, I reached my funding level, I raised $5,000. Now what do I do? How do I keep incenting people to continue to give me money? Hence, the concept of a stretch goal was born. And what these stretch goals do, the concept behind a stretch goal is, once you reach your funding level, I've asked for $5,000, we've hit it, but I still have 14 days to go. Now what do I do? Well, what a stretch goal does is it allows you to say, okay, let's set another goal like, for example, let's increase the quality of the project. For example, if I'm doing a board game, I'll make the cards or the board better, higher quality, a nicer quality. Maybe if it's the music, I can upgrade, increase the quality of the music or the filming, increase the locations if we're doing a documentary. There's all kinds of things that you can do with a stretch goal. These stretch goals also can increase to other things. For example, when we hit a stretch goal, everybody gets something. So for example, you can set a stretch goal that everybody gets an additional component or some exclusive thing that they get because they're a Kickstarter backer. So when you think about a stretch goal, you should plan these before your project starts. Now, here's a word on stretch goals, because there's two camps here, and you get to decide which camp you want to belong to. Do you show all your stretch goals, or do you take those stretch goals and piece them out one by one to your backers to give them a sense that, hey, what's coming next? Let's hit that very next stretch goal. And this is important because occasionally somebody has a $5,000 project and they have a $150,000 stretch goal. That kind of sets up a disconnect between the backers and the project. Your backers think, man, this guy doesn't have a clue about what he's doing if he thinks he's going to hit $150,000. Also, there's a concept when you hit a stretch goal and people are looking for it, they get a sense that they failed if they didn't hit it. So be very careful with your stretch goals, but now at least you can understand what they are. And stretch goals are the ability to give incentives to your backers to continue to spread the word. And you can have stretch goals around funding levels. Hey, if we reach $30,000, this is what'll happen. Or around number of backers. If I get 100 backers, 200 backers, 500 backers, I'll do certain things. So be sure to think about your stretch goals. They're key and important to helping your project have legs after you've reached your funding goal.